So the posture for this week is koundinyasana, and our balances are super tricky, so we need to be really careful with the approach. When we're first learning to arm balance, we have to remember that it's more about distribution of weight than it is how strong you are. We also have to remember that it comes from center, from the bandhas, from the core, not from the limbs. So the first approach, safest approach, is to play with the idea of coming from a center squat. From there, push your knees to one side and plant this elbow right into that outer thigh, and then plant your hand. Bring this elbow right to your hip, even if the hand is lifted. From there, lean into it, shift the weight, and see if the feet will lift. Often you'll hit one foot, maybe just the top foot, and then the other. What you want to remember is that as we're first learning, the elbows are our table. We want to sit the body right on top of the table. So once you start to find your way, if you're coming from center squat, the back arm is free, so it has no weight. Right? So that's Parshvabhagasana. So then into an koundinyasana, if you find your space, you shift it, lift, and then scissor those legs. Keep head up, heart open. Yeah? So then same thing. If you're coming in and you're feeling fairly comfortable, no weight on your back arm, maybe you get in there and then you decide to scissor. Yeah. If you're teaching, there are so many approaches to this posture, but one of my favorites is from Warrior One. And then into a Parshvabhagasana. Nice open space. And then you can plant both hands, shift it, and let it lift. And you can have weight on this hip or not. Another variation, if you're playing, I'll come this way for you. Starting from Bhavita, from twisting, settling your space, maybe back hip down, let it lift, and breathe, maybe the head comes down, and you lift, 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 lift. Another variation. Shoulder comes under the knee. Leg out in front. Shift onto that hip and let it lengthen. So as we're learning that one, if you decide to shift into that hip, you want to lift this as much as it will. A lot of us, it stays bent. Bring the elbow to the side belly and see what will lift. Yeah, don't make it a bigger deal than it needs to be. We love to make things a big deal. So maybe if you have your space, from Avasthamitrasana into Akabala. Maybe into Hamshasana, and then through. Hold, then release. Start really slow with our balances. We have to remember here the exit comes from center, but the upper and lower bodies are working equally. They're working together. It's like balancing a scale, right? Like a food scale. If both sides, I keep doing this, if both sides are even, it's gonna float. If one side is leaning too much or giving too much, it'll fall one direction or the other. Another really great way to play with this, the first variation, put a pillow under your face, truly. Because if you have a pillow there, you're more likely to shift far enough forward that you'll fall a couple of times, but you can't get up there without the head up and the heart open, coming forward enough to truly lift your posture. Play, it's just play, always.